What's up, everybody? How's it going? We've got the players meeting that's going to happen in a few minutes here. But I got a little bit of plugging to do, and I got a couple reveals. I guess I probably should have put like the turtles graphic up. Let me see if I can do that. I bet. Oh, I got the old webcam warriors logged in here. That's funny. Um, hey George, thank you for the Prime sub, my dude. That's huge. Thank you so much. Let me see. So I plan to turn most. Oh, I guess the preamble won't be in a short. So I just realized how bare it looks until we get to the actual reveal here. So I was like, wait up here. Let's try this. This could be cool. Hey, there we go. Okay, so it's not so blank anymore. Not just like staring into the bubbly abyss. Um, so for those of you who don't know, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles coming to universes. The set releases August 15th, but pre orders the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles booster set and 80s cartoon starter decks are now live at your local game store. Early pre release is happening at Gen Con, the biggest gaming convention in the world, from July 31st to August 3rd. So, the end of this month. Tickets are limited, so check out the Gen Con events page for more details. You can go to www.gencon.com/events and use the keyword universes when searching for events to find out everything that's available. Because again, this is the biggest gaming convention, and there is about half a month left to sign up for these. So I expect there to not be too many tickets available for too many things. Hey, what's up, Peyton? Um, Pre-releases at your local game stores begin on August 8th, so a week before the set release is pretty normal. Be sure to sign up for your promo art copy of Leo's Katana, which is only available in the pre-release kits. So, little bit of exclusivity there. I don't think it'll be too hard to get extra copies because usually stores get to do like two pre-releases, right? They do like a Friday and a Saturday. I could be wrong. I don't know. I've been spoiled in Vegas. We usually have like two stores. So, loyalty bonus if you register before August 8th. So you've got basically a month left. Um, you get 60 bonus loyalty points. So you can use that in the UGN reward store, of course, for your favorite promos. Sometimes they put up like the retro reprints, and they have weekly rotating rewards. So it's always something different to check out. I think they rotate on Monday. And then of course the full set releases on August 15th. So that's when these cards will be legal. So it'll be really, really exciting to see how they shake things up. But I'm sure what you guys want to see, what you're here to see, is you want to see the cards. You want to see what they gave me to show off. So I got just the thing for you here. Where is. Oh, I lost it. I had this set up perfectly earlier. It like completely didn't save the setting. I apologize. Luckily, this is all going to be cut out of the YouTube short. We'll see how this goes. There we go. We've got. Oh, it's got a little bit on the. Ooh, on the right there. So my first reveal is Daredevil. It's an era tuned foundation. It's a 2/5 with a +3 mid block, which is really important because when this card is added to your hand from your stage, this attack gets +2 or -2 speed. But our enhance on the card says discard a card, add this card to your hand. So you're always going to be able to add this card from your stage to your hand as long as it's ready, and you have a card to discard for cost. This is going to be really important if discard decks become a thing. So, I'm a big fan of this one just because I hate discard decks. This might be a sideboard card, like seriously. We've seen this effect with, I think it's number 4 Pro Hero, where you can add it to your hand and you give minus speed, and then you've got the mid block in your hand. This is basically the same thing, except you can use this one offensively for bonus speed. But the big thing is number 4 Pro Hero refunds itself. So debuilding yourself is kind of a tough ask most of the time. So I think that's why most people be turned off from this card. But this is actually kind of sick in Rodan. You just build your whole hand and then can get those cards back. I guess you have to discard the cards, so maybe not your whole hand. But yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with the turtles to synergize with this, because so far they've had a lot of stuff where it wants to enter your discard pile and then you get to add it to your hand. But this one says from stage. If this said from anywhere to hand, this would be really sick though. And then my second preview that I was given to show off is Above the City. This one's a +2 low block. It's also a 2/5 era-tuned foundation. This one has response after you play this card, look at the top card of your deck. And then it also has enhanced commit. This attack gets +2 or -2 speed. So really reinforcing here that the air symbol is the speed control symbol. 2 different foundations that have +2 or -2 speed. Really, at uncommon, really makes me think that in your pre-release, in your sealed pools, era-tuned cards are going to be super good at walling up. -2 speed plus adding blocks to your hand. This is obviously repeatable every turn. You can commit for -2 speed. Is going to be really annoying to deal with. And it's interesting to see that we get what is basically the response on Foresight, right? That was a 0 diff that had the same response after you play this card. Look at the top card of your deck. So interesting to see it put on a 2 diff here that has some speed control. Again, I'm really curious to see what we're going to do with the actual turtles, modifying the top card of the deck. How is that going to be so important, right? Are we going to see maybe a low control card, maybe like a 1 check or a 2 check that you're going to want to play around? I don't know, guys. We did see that crazy turtles character card where they can basically ignore bad checks on their own turn. So Above the City might be going in a deck that's playing, 2 checks. I don't know. But I'm super excited for these. What do you guys think? All right, let's shift gears here. I got to go do the players meeting for all of my players today. We got 8 players, so there should be 3 rounds, although I am missing 1 player's deck list, so hopefully they can give that to me before we start the round, being super lenient on this one. But somebody might be getting kind of a bye anyways, and that's just the nature of these single elimination tournaments. We were kind of lucky to end up with 8 people in the first place, so it is what it is. But let me ping all the players. He does have the player role as far as I can tell, so all the players are probably in the stream chat, to be fair. Start the stage. Do I really have to type all this? I feel like... Okay, there we go. All right, well, I got half of you in here. There we go. There's 5. There's... Cool. So, there's 8 people signed up. I think we're missing 1 person for the first round. It's just 1 person looks like they're going to get a bye. That's just how it's looking. But I am going to be your judge today until George is eliminated. He's going to stick around to help out, but to try and get to that 8 players, that kind of sweet spot of an even number, he was cool enough to sign up, and I can jump around from game to game anyhow and things like that, and run the stream. So if I'm not super quick to respond, I apologize. That probably means I'm distracted looking at chat, but I will do my best to give time extensions. So make note of the time that we'll Discord will have the the timestamp, right? So make note of the timestamp, and I will try to give time extensions here and there when it exceeds like 3 minutes or something like that. Hopefully you guys have all seen the room and password in the Ace Arena chat. Please make sure that you're following these, because when you call a judge, it'll make it a lot faster for me to get there if I can just immediately enter the room, because I already know the name and password and I don't have to ask you guys what you set it to. I will let you guys decide between you who hosts, because it is unfortunate. The one caveat with TTS is if the host disconnects and the game state cannot be saved or reloaded, then we have to issue a game loss to the host. So you guys can flip a coin on an app, you can roll dice on webcam. I don't care how you decide, but one person does have to be the host, and that is the one time where we do have to offer a game loss for disconnecting if the game is unsavable. If the other person disconnects, usually things can just be verified that everything's the same. So but please let me know of any disconnects, because if it's happening too often, we need to make note of that as well. We do want to make sure that we have the game state. George just told me Guillermo's asleep. Okay. So he'll just be the bye for the first round, because I've got things set up to go. So I think that's pretty much everything. You guys are playing for 4 Street Fighter 6 Challenger decks. The winner will get 4 of those, and a special medal trophy being made by TC Evertanian. If you guys have seen the videos, they're like a cool little metal trophy, and they're going to be based on a card from your deck. So you're going to pick one of the cards from the winning deck list to be made into a trophy, which I think is really cool. And so thank you, TC, for doing that. And thank you, Undefeated at Locals, for putting up the Street Fighter 6 Challenger decks, because second place is also going to win 2 of them. So first and second will be walking away with something really, really sweet here. And if you guys have any questions, now is the time to put it in the Ace Arena chat. If nothing else, then I'm going to get the activity started. Hey, Marvin. Thank you. Thank you for the Challenger decks. How many rounds? So there's going to be a round of 8, a round of 4, and then a final. So 3 rounds. So it's single elimination. All right, the pairings are up. I'm going to give everybody a few minutes to set up who's hosting and get the TTS tables all set up. All right, we're going to get the first round started at 55 after. Oh, Pour one out for Templar. Absolutely. It's crazy how much I miss Templar, man. It's genuinely like not a crazy card at any point in history. It was frustrating. I know why Tim Keefe designed like 20 cards to cancel it, but uh it was never like incredibly uh oppressive. I guess the event needs to start at 10 technically. I just realized we're ahead of schedule. I didn't expect to be ahead of schedule. But he also still has not sent me his deck list. So yeah, rejuvenating is just it's weird because there's sometimes where you're playing just like a really good rejuvenating deck and you think to yourself, man, this is so good when my opponent attacks me like exactly twice or exactly once and you played an action in front of it, but it just it's just not the same. Every time you check it, you feel it, right? Like it's just not the same. Be joining. All right. So the real question is, who should we watch? Who's got the coolest deck? We've got a Beauregard. I kind of want to watch the Beauregard. There's a Hanji Four Eyes. Got an Allura. Ooh, I like that character. There's a Nick Reagan. Ew. Everyone boo Nick Reagan. There's a Rodan. Okay, well, not the only one to boo. And then there's a Pony. Huh. Some pretty wide mix. I kind of want to watch the Beauregard guys. Who's the Beauregard player? Beauregard is playing against Irwin. Ooh, that could be tight. I don't know. Who else? There's Nick Reagan versus Rodan. And that one is the buy. Okay. Any votes? There's Allura versus Hanji. I think. So the pony has the buy. So it's Nick Reagan versus Rodan. It's Beauregard versus Irwin. Or it's Hanji Four Eyes versus Allura. Bo and Irwin. All right, we got 2 votes for Bo and Irwin, 3 votes for Bo. All right, I guess it's Bo versus Irwin. Oh, we might be having a technical difficulty here. It's the only game that doesn't have a room up. Let me see. I can give them a few minute extension too because we're a little ahead of schedule actually. I didn't even think of the time. So I can let me
Fat fingered the hell out of this.
oop. Hey there fellas, everything okay?
Yep,
Yeah.
just Mamalian's trying to get into the room.
Gotcha. Okay. You were just the only one I didn't see on the list and this is the match everyone wants to watch, so
Great. Yeah, the room's up now. You should be able to get in.
cool,
All
cool,
right,
cool.
I'm in.
All right. I'm gonna pop out. Just ping for a judge if you need me.
Yep.
Hopefully I don't miss anything. All right. They said the room should be up. There it is. Okay. So I'm very excited to see how we deal with Bo's face downs in the card pool. There's a surprisingly good number of cards. They're not all Bo keyworded, unfortunately, but there's like a surprisingly high number of cards I think that like care about you having face downs and do some pretty cool stuff. I think the biggest issue is most of them are attacks that tend to like come after you have the face downs in the pool, but it is what it is. There's one card specifically that gives you like +2 to your check, and it's tenacious or something. So like, it's like 3 foundations in one if you get the proper sequencing. So those are like the hype turns for Bo. So I want to see that. Okay, so we got Water Beauregard. Looks like we're using the Kendo cards that commit. And this one adds a mid back to your hand. Ooh, that's kind of spicy. All right. Little tutoring. Because the Beauregard cards, you know, the Beauregard generated attacks are mids. I should probably find like some royalty free background music to play, huh? Irwin Smith with a grip here, though. This is Order Irwin. We've got that hacker extraordinaire. Looks like we're playing on a 2. We might be playing around a 2 check. That one was on a 3, though, so I don't know. Otherwise, maybe just not valuing the hacker in this matchup. I would assume Beauregards are playing Titanstone Knuckle, but maybe that's just not an asset we're dealing with. Irwin can block with with a +4, but also the showdown, you know, should make that a little redundant. However, surprising skill exists, making showdown not quite as exciting. So shoulder toss. This is kind of like Bo's signature attack because as a brawler, it gets slam, which is a Bo keyword. And if the rival blocks this, they'll take usually 4 damage, which is just enough to let you draw a card and raid the foundation you used to pump with Bo. We do have the Beauregard Enhance coming down now, generating a couple 3 mid 3s. And so now our face up slam attack can get +3 damage because these are attacks in the card pool. However, we can't pump the damage of the face down attacks, unfortunately. But turning this into an 8 damage throw puts this right in that sweet spot where if our rival blocks, they should take 4 damage. And we're going to opt to take 5 only. We don't want to commit the extra card, even though the capture the target would be able to enhance and ready itself. Now we're opting to partial block on the face down. And because we committed surprising skill earlier in the turn, these two capture the targets are going to be able to get committed with no response. But during the next enhance step, we can enhance to just ready these two. So not the most impactful showdown, but it does kind of force us to use these captures, right? It's not the best way to use capture, but it's also not the best way to use showdown, right? It's a very agreed upon, very handshake agreement. Okay, hopefully the Nightbot has been regulated. Oh, but we do have another attack after this, teaming with the Attack Titan. This one comes in on a 5. It gets -1, or was it -2 difficulty? Sorry, -2 difficulty for each attack in your card pool. So it's really just a 2 difficulty 5 for 5. Little Botan's action here. We can give -3 speed with Irwin. Block with a +3 mid. +2 progressive makes it on an 8. Essentially commit out except for Irwin after that. Not terrible. You're a 7-hander. How many attacks can they play after this anyways, right? Nope. And so we're just going to fail the block. We checked a 3, so luckily we didn't waste the resources trying to block it. But that is a moment of normalcy that we're not going to have for later. And I'm not sure how much speed this Beauregard deck is going to pump. As we're dropping down to 11 health, the damage reset function probably not as appealing. So I don't really hate that decision. Normally, I would say moment of normalcy is probably like an A+ Irwin Foundation, just because you expect Irwin decks to be taking things a little bit longer. You expect, or at least, they have no problem, right, going to a long game. And order decks, I think, kind of enjoy that long game because they get more out of repetitive stun effects. And speaking of repetitive stun effects, we're going to open with some hot sauce here with Wall Maria's Might. Now, this is not the biggest Wall Maria's Might in the world because we're only going to get to draw 1 card off of this, but we do get an extra wall counter. Now, this is going to be one of those things, right, where we talk about if you get into a late game scenario where Irwin hasn't had to spend a bunch of counters once you're getting to like the draw 2s, draw 3s of the world, it allows a character like Irwin to fuel all of his abilities and play nearly perfect defense, Rodan-esque, at least as far as blocking is concerned. But Irwin also has great synergies with damage reducing cards. We haven't seen too many of those from Malcolm's deck, though. So, the death symbol has a lot of really nice attuned effects that maybe if we get down, there's going to be a healthy damage reduction kind of backup plan. Ooh, but we're going all in. We got Walk the Dog here. This one's only a 4 div. So we start off with a 5 low 5. Now we got a 6 low 6. We're going to draw another attack. Unfortunately, Heaven Piercing Ice Wall, it can only freeze foundations that were stunned during the attack, but it does ready one. So it could be worth it to pick and choose a foundation while Surprising Skill is committed to ready it, draw the card, stun it back down, and freeze it. That would be a pretty gnarly play, and it would matter a lot against a character like Beauregard, I think, who has to commit foundations to get their damage pump. Oh, kind of ironic. We checked a syndicate target, which is what we would have needed to block Walk the Dog. We would have needed a syndicate target in hand and a syndicate target check to pull that one off. So got half of it. That would have been crazy, by the way. That would have been like a pretty significant tempo swing for how this game is looking to, kind of weasel your way out of 5 damage and a momentum there. But now Irwin is going to be stacked up with 2 momentum. That's going to be powerful 3. And I think we saw Malcolm play around a 2 check a little bit earlier. I'm wondering if Press the Attack is in this deck. Oh, it's Lightning Rod. Never mind. Based alert. Holy smokes. We got Lightning Rod in this deck? I mean, worth it, bro. That card's so sick. I love Lightning Rod more and more. As the game gets like more crazy and volatile and there's more mad scientist stuff you can do, I think Lightning Rod's, ephemeral resource generation is kind of insane. The deflect on it is so good. I'm loving Lightning Rod. Okay, so that's our damage reduction, by the way. That's our deflect 4 hand trap. You love to see that. We love a little bit of Lightning Rod in this house. I'm officially biased. If I wasn't biased before, I'm officially biased. Oh, but this is not okay. This is not what Irwin wants to see, and this is not what Bo wants to see. That is tough. So Irwin might be a little upset that this is a throw coming his way, and it's a throw that technically punishes you for blocking. Now, building in the face down committed, not the biggest deal in the world, but if Bo has, a bunch of attacks in the card pool, which we can generate by checking a 6, this is going to be another one of those potential 8 damage throws. However, looking at the way that we're checking, I don't think that we're going to want to commit more resources on this turn, and we just have to be okay with chunking Irwin for a little bit more, getting another momentum, and looking for a really big cash out, maybe an EX3, maybe a patchwork. But no, it's not. This is an order deck. I'm seeing all the Kendo cards, and I immediately think of order mids. What's the EX cash out for water? Dual needle lunge? That's EX2? Where's the big EX move? Because, with 3 momentum, you put +9 speed on something. That can put the squeeze even on an Irwin deck with 2 Shrewd Observation out. We are at a point where Irwin is essentially sacrificing a foundation for -4 speed. So get your Rodan counters out. Get your Rodan sleeves out. But 9 speed from an EX move could do it. Powerful onto a throw? Is there a way to do that? Not with these symbols. Or if I should zoom in a bit. Maybe it's a little far for stream. Oh, checking a 3 on runaway. Not the biggest deal in the world. Not the biggest deal in the world. Not crazy. Interesting to keep the Botons up, which would let our rival draw cards on their turn. But I think with the way the checks have gone, the fact that we did not Beauregard in hand to try and ready to capture the targets, getting the runaway card pool clog and denying the momentum is a good idea. However, we added a mid attack to the card pool. Oh, this has to have 3 in front of it? Oh, it has to have 3. Okay, so this is still on a 6. It would have been on a 6, I guess, either way, because it would have needed 3 in front. But we do check a 5 here. Commit 1 foundation. Now we're going to get to add one of these cards back to our hand. And we get to ready or capture the targets. Okay, things might be getting a little scary here. I want to believe in the -4 speed, keeping us alive here. But if we pick up that throw, and we can somehow pass the Beauregard in hand. See, Beau's not playable while committed, huh? We play the throw on a 7. We commit the 2 capture the targets. We have 1 foundation to commit to pass the 6, but they changed the rules on us, so we can't commit Beauregard for the damage pump. If we check a 6 somewhere in that string, though, we could put together a 10 damage throw. Our rival's at 6, though. We need to be lethal even on half. We would need 1 more extra point of damage. Okay, we're going to pick up the 4 div throw. That makes sense. That makes more sense. It's the same damage, actually. They're both 5 damage, and the damage is what matters. But the readying a foundation might let us play 2 copies of this throw, both pumped. That should be enough, unless we have Will of Steel or something main boarded. Maybe another runaway that we draw off of a Botons. This one's going to be a complete block. Only moves in hand. No choice but to commit to violence. The shoulder throw coming in here. Checking well. Checking well is important here. The checks certainly do matter. The question is, how are we going to maximize our damage? How are we going to get this to lethal on a partial, or potentially maybe just play another 5 difficulty throw committed out? If we block this one that is a readied foundation and another draw, we're going for the Beauregard enhance to generate additional attacks. Because our rival only has 1 card in hand, this one's a throw. We have to find a way to completely block 2 mids, but we only have 1 Botons. I guess maybe, no, you can partial block 1. No, because this throw will take us down to 1. This is looking like a checkmate from the Beauregard enhance. Doing the Botons now, not drawing a mid block anyways. And that's going to be game 1 for Beauregard. What a disgusting turn. What a disgusting hand. We checked a 3. We were dooming and glooming. We got runawayed, but it runawayed and attack into our card pool. But we didn't even use the Beauregard damage pump. Not a single time. We just had to check 5s and take 7-hander lives. Man, that's so tough. I feel like that system 1 runaway play happens every time. But paying 5 versus blocking it and taking 3. I don't know what the right call is there. Maybe there's nothing we could have done. Adding that extra progressive seemed like the right idea, but Big Fist Bash? Is that the Ford if is that the Breaker 3? I'm so terrible with the Kendo names. I'm not allowed to call them what everyone calls them. Because I do commentary. Big Fist Bash, yeah, the Breaker 3. That one on a 6, full difficulty. I think that's maybe the attack that we needed to take. But no, because the last 2 were 3 mid 3s, and this one was just a 3 mid 3. That's so tough. What we needed was our own breaker, huh? We needed our own breaker 3, maybe saving the showdown for that turn. That's so tough, though. Those are all such, I would say, I guess, normal decisions. Those are all good decisions. Maybe it just didn't matter what Malcolm had. The only thing I can think of is somehow blocking down to no cards, using Botons to draw something that reduces damage of the next attack. Unfortunate. It really looked like Irwin was going to get destabilized, but just chipping away with those 3 mid 3s when we didn't have a complete block for them. The 5 damage throws. It was just too much for a 7-hander to take. And that's why I think the death symbol cards, the damage reduction, the weapon clashing, the greater goaling, that's why it's so popular for this character, right? Because the speed reduction with shrewd observation was huge. We could have blocked everything in that card pool. It was just the block zones, the block zone lottery, and we didn't have, 1 or 2. We need 1 or 2 more cards, maybe pushing the limit ready over a shrewd observation, just that little bit of extra dig. But we've got Lightning Rod for turn 2 into a rival 2 build. Neither of these cards super impressive on defense either. The airship, pretty nice. Refund a card, get it back in your hand. But sacrifice for the cause. And this one is what? When a backup is attacked? Oh no, it's discard a card, draw a card. Okay, so not too bad, but no speed reduction here, right? So this could be a pretty nice, pretty nice little poke. Checking a 3 is not a big deal. Bringing it 2 back for this turn. Oh, and if we get momentum on this turn, before our rival plays 2 attacks, we get to flip airship. Not bad. Flipping airship also has the hidden bonus of giving our rival another foundation to commit to help us play walk the dog. That could become relevant if Beauregard continues to be aggressive. We saw Beauregard be aggressive on 4 foundations back to back. Discarding the wish hard, drawing defensively. All right. Wanting to get our options to us as soon as possible. So here's the power of Lightning Rod. This is what earns it its 2 check. Because we destroyed the hacker. Wait, hold up. We're being this aggressive. Okay, we destroyed the hacker extraordinaire. Interesting. Okay, I thought we committed because it's like playable while committed. And we didn't hit the pushing the limit button immediately. Interesting. Ooh, we're going to check a 4 on this one. That's okay, though. We just built 2 bonus foundations. We get to blitz, draw a card, and we get a committed foundation, which is fine. because Irwin is probably just going to blow it up, right, for something throughout this turn. It looks like we're trying to really put the squeeze on here. But the last two attacks in our hand are attacks that generally want momentum. Walk the dog at least certainly wants you to have a few more foundations, which that hacker, I feel like that hacker would have been pretty instrumental. Although you do have to assume that Beauregard's going to try to get a better stage on this next turn so you can be aggressive here, right? You can extend a little bit. We don't want to say overextend, but you can extend here. I just really thought that the hacker extraordinary was going to be part of the game plan. Almost guaranteed momentum on this turn. Refills your hand defensively, right? You can play more foundations offensively, and then just getting rid of airship is, that's a bullet point your deck should be concerned about in this format. It either gets rid of the airship or it has good counterplay, right, for the airship. Unfortunately, I don't think Great Buckler's style effects really count. There's one or two that are tenacious, which would be nice. If only because airship usually does require you to play 2 attacks to use it offensively. But it can be your first in hand, so it can be tough. You would have to lock a card in the card pool on the first attack, and then your rival just builds out, and you're like, oh well. I'll never know if that was always the plan or not. But we got 2 attacks in. So a momentum for Ice Sword next turn, a momentum for Walk the Dog next turn. We do see the greater goal out. All right, that's fine. We've got a freebie foundation to commit. Yeah, so filled without, high block, low block. Feeling pretty good here. Plus a Botons. Yeah, we're going to push all the way, it looks like. Playing everything on 5s. Checking them. So, Beauregard would have to have a pretty spectacular turn. A pretty spectacular turn to punish this build out, and it's not going to happen. These are the games that Irwin players live for. These are the games that the average Irwin player, at least, is looking for, where they get their pokes in turn 2, they get their gimmick going, if you will. They get a couple of counters here or there, right? And then the rival just has to catch up to them. Ooh, no additional heat, but commit and freeze and threaten 10 damage is not bad. The one thing with the build out, 3 check punishment, things are just ever so slightly tilting back towards Beauregard here. No additional attacks drawn for Irwin, plus a 3 check on this poke. The big thing about having the full build turn from Beauregard is, yes, you didn't get threatened back, but they also did not commit any foundations for your Walk the Dog game plan, right? So with no duplicates in stage and a surprising skill out, it's going to be tough to actually get this freeze to matter. Looks like we're looking for the best target, but if our Beauregard player is keen, maybe, I don't know, maybe they want to bait the momentum, I don't know, but if they're keen here, the surprising skill can just flip to ready this. Looks like we read the surprising skill and we're choosing not to interact with it. Right. Here comes the Irwin Enhance, +2 speed, generate a counter. And we're gonna flip. We're gonna flip with Greater Goal for +2 damage. We are gonna spend the momentum to freeze a foundation, get +5. This is a substantial poke, but with no true follow-up. I mean, I'm not sure what we're... I mean, we're trying to make this look like it's the turn, right? And that's a good idea. It's solid. Oh, we might get we might get paid off for it. Oh, we're getting paid. We are getting paid and made today. Okay, so it's a big 12. The +2 speed was enough. I mean, Greater Goal, +2 more damage in there. Flip the Don't Do This, which we had 2 copies of, so makes sense. I can get behind it. But I think you really gotta take the loot and run here, considering our other attack is a 7 difficulty. Okay, I'm wrong. I'm foolish. I am the bozo. We smell blood in the water. He said you couldn't block a 7-speed move. There's no way you block an 8-speed move. We are calculating here. This is this. I think this will work actually. He said you didn't use surprising skill the first time. Maybe you won't use it the second time. Oh no, are we gonna sacrifice for the cause? So sacrifice would force him to spend the momentum to make it lethal. It is an ability that reduces damage, but you would effectively be getting rid of one of your foundations to block with. This is on an 11. So right now we're at check a 5. There's multiple stuns happening. So you're basically on check a 6 to block. The real question here, Rival's got 1 in hand. Do you Botons it? I think you don't. I mean, I can see the answer, of course, but oh, we're gonna go for it. Imagine if it was like a wish heart or something. No. No. No, dude. No. How? How could every time? No, dude. Why? Everything was so good. Everything was so correct. Everything was fine. No way. No shot, dude. No. No, if you check the 3, he still lives as long as he uses surprising skill. And it looks like we didn't even press the stun buttons to force it. Oh! We didn't build... Oh! Oh, we drew an Irwin's final charge off. That's what you're talking about. Oh, I didn't even see we drew more attacks. We drew more attacks. It's all good, chat. It's all good. We drew the attack. We drew Irwin's final charge and Irwin. It's good. Oh my god, dude. I was losing my mind. I didn't even look. I didn't even look. I didn't even look at his hand. I didn't even look at his hand. That was the greatest 7 difficulty walk the dog that's been blocked that I've ever seen. Oh my goodness. I didn't even look at his hand, Jack. I was looking I was looking at that Botons the whole time. Oh my god, I did not see. He drew 2 attacks. When did he do that? I guess he drew one off Walk the Dog and one off Botons. That's so crazy. What a game, man. I wish, see, I don't think I'm gonna be GM. Do you guys think I should stay as GM? For the, like, so I can see the hands? Imagine if we were watching this game and we had no idea what was in anybody's hand. Imagine if that syndicate target was like a real surprise. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that we should? Do you guys think that we should stay so we can see the hands or not? I don't know. I actually don't know. I usually prefer to see the hands because I can like have my reactions more timely is how I feel. But we also would not have known that Walk the Dog was like the last attack, right? So you're missing like 2 different pieces of context. Like if we're playing Walk the Dog on a 7, we're like, well, there's no way he doesn't have it, bro, you know? So I don't know. There's two different ways to get that tension. That sweet, sweet tension. Either way, a masterful turn. As good as the Beauregard turn in from game 1. Like just these guys are going for it and it's working. These guys are absolutely swing. They are swinging. Speaking of swinging, we got a double lightning rod turn with an Irwin's somewhere in there. Dude, using lightning rod to fuel Irwin's is actually crazy. That's actually so sweet. Just like look at your stage and be like, okay, well, I can actually add 4 to this for the damage. 29 is tough though. What if we just play Irwin's on a 7 and we just toast all of the foundations we just built plus like 1? No, okay. It looks like we're going to toast these early for some counters. Okay. Man, I'm still reeling from that game too, honestly. That game too was truly something. $60 card Reagan. You know, not to steal your thunder, but I think I did say something about playing like 60 card Reagan like back when he was first previewed. It's like, bro, you get 1 turn to attack and it's gonna be good. Like just take out the guesswork. You will hit the good stuff. Any like crazy variants you can hit, like from the 60 card version, like, oh, I removed all my true 100s on the same attack. Like, that's better than get whiffing. That's true. This is also post errata Nick Reagan. That's fair. That's fair. You're only going to get the 2 activations per game. That's fair. Oh, I missed the whole attack. I was reminiscing about last game. All right, so we got determined dive. Okay, okay. Yeah, we got some nice foundation refunding here. That Nick Reagan deck sounds 60 card Nick Reagan. It just sounds like a Yu-Gi-Oh deck. Like I know we say that a lot, but like that's just like Yu-Gi-Oh mentality, like for sure. Man, I don't know how I do it. I always forget that the stupid timer includes overtime. I hate that. It throws me off so bad. I completely, yeah, I just made the time call, so luckily TC caught it. I still can't believe of all the things that have been updated that it doesn't have like the separate, because it used to count down and then count up, and that was sick. That was so cool. I liked that. That's like how it should be. Anyways, we're getting double shoulder tossed here. So this was like the recipe for success for Beauregard in the first game, was just having all the shoulder tosses, even so far as having Irwin give us a shoulder toss into our card pool to pick up with Big Fist Bash to then play on a 6 and generate the bonus face downs for game. Absolutely wild stuff. Looks like we are going to choose to block this one. Really valuing the lightning rod additional, enhance to build. I would love to take 1 damage from this shoulder toss, or maybe 2, right, from the first one. Let them draw the card, let them ready it, just take the 1 damage, preserve that health total, get another momentum for EX or something like that. Say we've got Irwin's coming in for the Breaker 1. Yeah, it has Breaker 1 on it. So that's one of our best kill cards, but we're using it for the defensive trick here. We do have the Ice Sword, which is going to be necessary for trying to be aggressive into Condescending Explanation. So that makes sense that if we have to pick between one of our 5 diffs, the one that allows us to even attempt to win the game would be higher on the priority list. But man, it feels a little rough. Give that one up. Wish Hard on a 5. Okay. Checks a 3 though. Gonna commit double Feral Shriek. We still have a Wish Hard in hand. Oh, we have to go into the Breaker. My apologies. We have to commit one more. We checked a 2. All right, so no Beauregard enhance. Or did we fail it? Sorry, I had to look away at the timer. But no Beauregard enhance got passed. Um, we are just gonna build out after this. All right, so there's 10 minutes left in the round. Overtime begins in 10 minutes from now. Yeah, so of course we have Hanji Four Eyes versus Allura still going. I wouldn't be surprised if they're still in game one. Considering it's TC playing the Hanji and just, speculating on the type of deck they play. Ooh, we got is this Killing Intent? Yeah, this card should see more play, man. If it did seal any rival foundation, I bet it would. That 2 or less difficulty is kind of a real it's a real limitation into a lot of decks right now. A lot of decks do have, a condescending or an invincible body. Something like a sacrifice that you'd want, but I think it's pretty good. Maybe obviously if it was stun too, it'd be real nice. But I'm a little surprised that the target seal for weapon decks is not, in the low zone is not enough on its own. Got a little bonus speed coming in here. I like the idea to start with Killing Intent. Just to see if maybe the rival's willing to use the condescending for us. That puts us in like a bit more of a checkmatey situation. Looks like we went for deflect 4 on the opener to only take 1. And then we're still going to have Lightning Rod and a Determined Dive after this. Which I think is exact lethal if we pass everything. All right, we now have enough counters to cash in for a face down. All right, Botons, nice, nice. I don't know how good that is without the momentum, because again, I think Lightning Rod into dive is lethal after this. But then so is Lightning Rod into Ice Sword, and Ice Sword is faster. I can't think of any +0 high blocks though. If Street Fighter 6 were legal, there's 1 or 2 that are available. Yeah, so we're gonna get the Lightning Rod, generate those extra resources. We get to stun out the last foundation here. And unless something catastrophic happens, I don't want to jinx it. I won't say it. I don't want to jinx anything. All right, 5 damage left to deal. We can pass the ice sword. It's faster. This one's on an 8, even if we check the 2, because we had that lightning rod. And there it goes. Irwin's going to be taking it down in a nail biter. Now, granted, Beauregard definitely didn't get out of the starting blocks as much as they wanted games 2 and 3, but man, that was that was closer than I think a lot of people would have it on paper. So that was pretty sweet. The one game where Beauregard got the pop off. But man, watching that 7 diff walk the dog, that had to be the highlight for me for sure. That was so crazy. I got so lost in that play. But we got a little bit of time before overtime. What do you guys say about doing another reveal? You guys want to check out another Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles reveal, if I can say it right? Oh, my reveal window went away. All right, here we go. I think it's time to do another 2. We're going to be doing 2 reveals at a time. 2 previews. Previews, is that the correct term? Waiter more TMNT. Well, the customer is always right. So this is, yeah, this should not get me canceled. All right. Where are we at? Oh, that didn't work. Hey, there we go. Where is... The next reveal I have for you is Too Slow. This is a 4 difficulty, +1 mid block, 3 mid for 6 flash attack. It's also got the charge keyword. It's air attuned, of course, as I believe everything I have to show off today is response card pool once per turn. After your attack is not blocked, your rival commits 1 foundation. So this one is super sick because we haven't seen too much flash support. It's got the right stats for your average flash deck. Usually you want like high base damage. You know, your rival can't really interact with its speed too much anyways. And a lot of flash decks bump speed. The air symbol really good at doing that. But what I really like about this is it's got a response speed ability that you can use on any attack throughout your turn. Usually this would be something like response after this attack is not blocked, your rival commits 1, and it works as a really funky, hard to use stun. But because it's any attack that's in the card pool, this is going to make you kind of trend towards opening with it a bit earlier. It works with schemes that we've seen really well. There are schemes that commit things on play. So I just think it's really nice that it works with the whole turn, and it's not just telling your rival, well, block this one, and you're free, you know, you're out of it from the little stun one. But yeah, I hope to see more Flash stuff. I think Flash is great for new players. I think handing a new player a Flash deck is a great way to get them used to control checks and building and blocking, and helps them not worry about card effects and the back and forth of the enhanced step too much. But I do think that they need that eventually. They need that enhanced step. They need that back and forth eventually. And they get to do it on defense, right? So I think flash decks are really, really good. And it's just a strong keyword in general to give like a newer player. So yeah, too slow, very cool. The other preview for this round is Spinning Crescent Kick. It's another uncommon. It's a 5 diff, 5 high for 4, plus 2 high block. This one has EX3 and kick, of course, and it has response card pool once per turn. After your attack is not blocked, your attack gets plus 2 damage. So this is another card pool response. It's another once per turn that can be used on any of your attacks, which I think is a neat design space that we haven't seen too much of. They're not super great effects, right? They're not super, game breaking, but they're really nice for punishing the rival for not blocking. This might be in response to damage reduction decks being really powerful, right? These don't say after your attack deals damage, they say after it's not blocked. So specifically encouraging the rival to block with them and helps you target backups. Now, granted, we do have those elusive backups coming in, but this kind of helps you against. Well, I guess no block status is set. I don't know. I don't think these work against backups, actually. I should retract that because it has to be during the block step. So either way, forget what I said about backups, but a 5 high for 4 poke that can buff up your next attack seems pretty cool. And with EX3, this seems like a reliable attack for decks that are good at pumping damage. So this will be, the air symbol gives you all the speed, and the EX3 gives you all the speed you need. Now we just got to solve the damage. Now we've got answers for that. So what do you guys think? Are you going to play Spinning Crescent Kick? Is there any deck you can think of? Maybe Chun-Li? Maybe Chun-Li is trying to, add stuff to her card pool, discard stuff from her card pool. She's got a card that adds a kick to her card pool. I don't know. I don't know if this is the one, but this might be leading to something else in the future. So very cool for that. And once again, the release is August 15th. Pre-releases start August 8th. You can pre-order at your local game stores. I don't think I have to do the spiel every time. I did all the info at the beginning, but make sure you're checking out your pre-releases. Make sure you're pre-ordering at your LGSs and supporting them. And thank you again to UVS Games for letting me do these reveals all throughout the day. We've got 4 more to do throughout the rest of the tournament. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're almost 3 minutes into overtime. I did give them the 10-minute overtime warning. That is good to time it. I guess they should know exactly when it happens. Yeah, Salvador, thank you for playing, man. This is very cool to see the Beauregard deck. I was pretty scared after that game 1, man. I was like, whoa, this Beauregard's got the sauce. On 4 foundations, generating the capture the target was pretty good. Generating those attacks for capture the target. I guess we can jump into the end of the TC Disaster Dan game, see what's going on there. Hopefully I don't crash it. I don't know. Whoa, oh my god, please. Oh, it looks like it's over. I was gonna say, please tell me this is still game 1. Holy smokes. Dude, look at this stage. The stage is magnanimous. What is happening? Oh my god, we got counters. Well, this might be a glitch actually, but we got counters on foundations down here. Okay. All right. Hopefully they've reported. Have they reported? They have not reported. Let me give it a quick little refresh.
This with me to
Hey guys, please don't forget to report your game.
Okay.
I know they want to talk about it. I'm sure it was super interesting, but I gotta keep things moving along. So after one round, we have eliminated half of our competitors. We have Malcolm Hall on Irwin Smith. We have George R on Nick Reagan. We have Matt V on what was it? Pony. Pony got the bye, of course. Pony players. And we're still waiting to see. I should just use this refresh button, huh? I'm using like the page refresh like a fool. Still don't have a report from Dan and TC. We'll give it a minute to load, but so yeah, that's our. It's either Hanji Four Eyes or Allura, and I could not tell from that game state. I want to say it was Allura, but Hanji had a bunch of stuff, a bunch of defensive backups committed, so I don't know. That's the only reason I'm guessing. Oh, but Dan left the call. Nope, it was TC. Okay. I just thought I saw defensive backups committed out, so I don't know. Oh, maybe it was a game 2. All right. So let's move on to round 2. I'm going to give players 1 minute. Sure. I'm going to give them 1 minute to make sure that the scores are correct. I mean, we watched one of them. That one's correct. George has been sitting in the chat for a hot minute. I have to assume that one's correct. And one was a bye, so. But just to make sure no one misclicked anything. We're going to give it 60 seconds. We can do at least that much. So we've got 4 more reveals. I'm going to do 2 after this next round, and then 2. I guess after this next round would be right before finals. I'll do 2 right after finals. I'll do 2 to like finish things off, I suppose, to end the stream. It'd be like a cool send off. All right, it has been 60 seconds. We are now going to advance to the next round. All right. So it looks like we've got the Irwin that we've already seen versus 60 card Nick Reagan, or Hanji Four Eyes versus Pony that hasn't had to play anyone yet. I guess we got to go with the Pony match, right? Oh, you got death rattled, bro? That's so sick. I had no idea what his deck was doing. Bro, you got death rattled? That's so tight. Oh, we're definitely watching the Hanji deck for sure, bro. We're watching the Hanji. We're watching the death rattle deck. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. I wasn't 100% sure. I didn't want to like look through all the decks and like spoil them for myself, you know. But I took a glance at TC's and I was like, I think I know what it's doing, but you never know for sure with TC. It's cool he's trying something kind of out there. It would be funny if he wins his own trophy. Death Rattle is so cool. Oops, I forgot to approve him. My bad, guys. and it's like burn control. It's like the craziest control out there. Man, I didn't want to admit because I like the wacky combo stuff, but people have been suggesting that I just do like a slow death rattle, like just use the backups that kill themselves, right? You know, use like all the backup synergy we have now. But I like the combo version. All right, so we should be joining Ace 2 whenever it's up. As soon as I get into the game, I'm probably going to run to the restroom real quick, but it looks like TC needs a minute as well. All right, while TC's opponent is waiting for him, I'm going to run to the restroom. I'll be right back. We're going to get round 2 started real soon. I guess the timer's all right, there we go. I'm going to start the timer. Or actually, here, let me give him. Okay. What is with this timer? I'm going to start the timer at 11:08. All right, I'll be right back. All right, we're back. Sorry about that, everybody. I tried to wait for this game to get started, but I couldn't wait. It is what it is. But it looks like we're a couple turns in. Couple of build turns here. Oh, we've got a Porco. Did I look at the wrong list? Oh, I did look at the wrong list. I'm sorry. Pony was a deck that he had submitted to a previous event. I was scrolled up. He's playing Porco on Fire today. My bad. I was tripping this whole time. That's on me. Let me get caught up here. Death Rattle does have crazy deadlock. Do I know about the Death Rattle Grovekeeper combo? Yes, that is the combo I was referring to specifically earlier. When I was talking about how people have suggested that I play like just a more grindy, sack your own backups game. And I'm like, no, I just want to do the combo. Also, JCAs, thank you for 22 months, dude. That's huge. Thank you so much. I think that's every month I've ever streamed, actually. I've definitely taken some months off, but I think that's every month I've ever done a stream. So thank you so much. Maybe not. Maybe I've been doing this for 3 years, but still, that's probably my longest subscriber. Did he show off a card? I did show off. I've showed off 4 cards on stream today so far. I've done 4 cards. We're doing 2 at a time. Yeah, he's not doing the combo. That's what I'm saying. His is just like grindy control. And it's cool. But I like the combo version. I like knowing I can just point and click at my opponent. That's true. You were playing. I thought you guys were done when I did it. That's on me. we hit overtime and I thought you guys were done for some reason. But yeah, as you can see, you got multiple invincible bodies, a lot of meeting Hanjis. Greater goal out. Hanji Four Eyes herself does, or themselves, sorry, does -3 damage on everything. I should be able to have the. To be honest, I thought people would be screenshotting it and sharing it in Discord already. The replay should be available soon. I don't think I'm allowed to send them to you. There will be the re-upload of the stream like immediately. I'll publish it on Twitch so you can go back. I don't think you can rewind my streams because I'm not like that level or whatever. But yeah, I can publish the stream immediately after it's done. And I'll go over all of them at the end. I can go over all of them at the end. So I can do that too. I can recap all of them. We can also just redo them all. All right, so to get into this game here, looks like we've got the Titan Armbar was a 7 diff to lead off. We're now playing Mighty Blitz, but we checked a 3. I got the air symbol, the best symbol, the correct symbol. It looks like a lot of the best characters in TMNT are air characters too, which is kind of sick. It's funny that the lower power level sets seem to have like the best air cards. Yeah, I don't have the VODs on. Is that a thing you can set? I thought you couldn't set that unless you were like a partner. I thought affiliates couldn't have VOD set while you're streaming. I could just be completely out of the loop. But that was something I used to have. Or that's something I tried out, I think, before. You didn't realize I was previewing cards, man. I put it in like every stream link. I put it in the title. It's in the title of the stream. I'm amazed you found the link. And we're like clicked onto the stream and you didn't know. That's fair. No, that's fair. I'm glad you're here though. Mighty Blitz got zeroed out, it looks like, by an invincible body. Trying to return back to the action here a bit. We got an I'm with you to get stun 1 and +2 damage on this one. Oh, that's fair. That's fair. There's quite a few people who are who are spending the day with their girlfriend, so I get it. Much better than card games. All right, we got another -3 from TC on the backups here. This Porco hand is crazy. We're going to play the teaming on a 5. And now Porco gets to do the loop, right? This is just the part where TC has to hope that Porco checks badly enough. Oh, no, he has to keep putting a card back in. All right. Oh, no, they sped through that. So these are all for 7, but TC can just pop a bunch of foundations for -3 on each. True, barrier doesn't count. Oh, we got to seal greater goal. That might be huge. That might be a big deal. We have to put the Mighty Blitz in, which basically doesn't count for teaming with the Attack Titan. And if something goes wrong, you want that defensively. Like, this might be one of the only turns where you can get through, like, all these meeting Hanjis, and it looks like we did get to commit out an invincible body. So, granted, if we make the checks, this might be it. No greater goal here is huge. I mean, we can still block this one. We don't even actually have to start relying on damage reduction yet. TC's deck has very few bad checks in it. There's like 4 3s or something, right? And that's it. And the others are 4 checks. So this is going to be on a 4? Or is it on a 5? Oh, it's on a 5. Can we check the 3? I think that there was floating minuses from Lust for Battle. We had -2 to the check. All right, so we can loop these, but it's not infinite. Until we have like a card draw ability that basically only draws us barrier shields. This is not an infinite loop, but it is a just enough TM loop. So now we can destroy 2 foundations, -3 with Hanj. Nope, we're just gonna take the 8. Oh, and it pays off. We're gonna have to commit Porco. Yeah, if he chose to flip, Yeah, when you're getting down to like the last attack, if he chose to flip, he would have gotten 2 bonus damage here. But then Hanji just gives it -3, right? Oh, but you could still, yeah. Oh, the last one would have been -2 as well, or +2 as well. If he flipped on the last one, Hanji would have been at 7, but this could have come in for 6. I don't know if it's guaranteed. I think he misses by 1. Yeah, if he flips on the first teaming, I think he still misses by 1. Unless if he flipped on the one that got blocked, unless you're talking about that one. There's a lot of teamings, to be fair, bro. The very first teaming, definitely not flip. But if he flipped to give +2 speed to the one, yeah, flipping on the last one, yeah. This Hanji doesn't care about eating 4 foundations, though. This Hanji is like totally down to blow up down to 0 to stay alive. Like there might be a point where Porco doesn't deal damage again. I think if we were able to flip on the one where we blocked and committed out, the +2 speed would have meant that we would have failed the block and we would have gotten like 2 more damage on that one. That one would have been for 10. That would have put us down to 9. And then we could have played Besiege teaming if we no. Because we wouldn't have checked well enough. I don't think the +2 speed would have been enough on the very first one. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think the crazy part is at 2 health, the Hanji might never take damage again. Like that's the crazy part. Is we might be here for like another hour. You might be here for the rest of the timer of Hanji just not taking damage. So, which I think would be cool to see one time. Yeah, make Hanji eat 4 foundations. He's definitely better considering where we ended up. But yeah, I think if you're Porco, I think you just got to eat the 6 here. Barrier shield is useful to your game plan, and it's not like partial blocking this makes a big difference. Yeah, the big thing was we had our whole stage. We had the whole stage committed, right? Now we've got Invincible. We got Greater Goal back. You don't know if you're going to get like loss of consciousness. Yeah, builds 9 Titans. So this is the other universe's issue, right? When does Porco realize that he needs to just win games 2 and 3 by getting the God Hand, turn 2 or whatever again, and just checking better? Like if he just checks better, right? He just wins that game. I think we saw him check a 3 like half the time. And now it's like how many teaming with the Attack Titans are left in the deck? How many can we draw to like try to do the loop to try to overcome this damage reduction? And this is why they gave us Unyielding. This is why you aim Unyielding at the 9 Titans. You make them sack all their damage reduction. And you bring that stage back down to 4. Oh, baby. We got the Jaw Titans bite. Boosts all your other attacks by +1. Not bad, not bad. It's gonna turn a non-attack into an attack. Not bad, not bad. Still no teaming, but we might get there. Looks like we already, yeah, we responded with 9 Titans to bring this down to 0 already. Gonna get 1-1. There goes another teaming with the attack Titan. Yeah, I think this is one of those issues where Porco should play this turn as fast as possible. And if he doesn't win here, it's not terrible to concede and go to game 2. And it's so tough, man. 2 damage feels so doable, but it might not be, you know? I think, you know, even if we have like do we have hostile introduction? I don't think that's I don't think this is that kind of mill deck, but it might be. You know, get him down to 1, hit him with a deadlock burn effect. Like there might be something. But if our plan is to just attack and deal damage, I don't know. We're still early in the round too. It's still only 20 minutes in. But you gotta win 2 games after this if you do concede. So, and if you lose with 20 minutes left, it's not great. Yeah, he it looks like he wants he would rather keep the Hanji up to draw another card. The meeting Hanji. It's very funny that Hanji 4 Eyes can just build Titan Injection from their hand face down. So that's something else you guys also have to remember. I don't know. I don't think they can see my hand, but I don't want to like point things out. But yeah, they have a way to flip their outwit, right? So military tactics is really good. I think they all secure not dying. I think military tactics secures not dying. I think invincible bias secures not dying. Desperate plea might actually be the worst one, you know? Depending on what we plan to block. Oh, death rattle, burn you for 1. You love to see it. That's the other thing too. The TC deck doesn't necessarily need you to forfeit. It is gonna burn you out eventually. Oh, all right. That 3 check. That's got to kill it, right? Now, granted, Porco doesn't know what that face down is. We know what the face down is. Porco doesn't know. So I think if he did know, he's TC reading it. You know, it would be a lot easier to make this decision, but it's definitely starting to feel like a go to game 2. But I don't know, man. I don't know. There might be some weirdo thing like some double armbar, you know, catch. I mean, you got to go through the Smiling Titan now. There might be a burn effect. Like I'm thinking that there's like a weird if this deals burn and you get to hit a backup and like no one normally plays it so we can't think of it. You know? Like what are the Porco symbols? It's like what, fire death, right? Yeah. Both of those are the two symbols that normally have like some weird coincidental burn. Oh man, if this was a death deck, you could be playing sweeping daggers. Ooh, that would be crazy. Wouldn't it be crazy? Just be like, my win condition is I have to play 2 sweeping daggers and remove 2 sweeping daggers. Needs to flip this tactic. I do think I am surprised we haven't flipped the military tactics already. Oh, it looks like he caught it. So it looks like his opponent's letting him walk it back. We're being cool. Because it looked like he had started to pay the cost on Hanji, and we're being cool. That might be one of those, you know, might be one of those like top tables at a regional. I don't know. I don't know, bro. I might be like, it's too late. I don't know. Everybody wants to be cool until it's time to, like, you know, play touch move. Everybody's your friend until it's touch move, you know? Can Besiege get there? Transform. You gotta transform. Yeah, we transformed. And the Titan armbar comes down. And it's gonna get 2-2. Oh my god. So we'd be blocking on a 9? Can we reduce 11 damage off of this? Oh, wait, no, never mind. We don't have to. Not around here, partner. Not around here. Not around here, partner. We're going to take 1 damage from that. They're going to take 1 damage. Now imagine if Porco had his own death rattle. Chinatown, someone's Titan injection. Yeah. Chinatown, is that the one that says you can't reduce damage? It's Guardian Angel. Yeah, Guardian Angel Chinatown. Hell yeah, brother. Guardian Angel of Chinatown versus Titan Injection is sick. Just the fact that somebody would be playing Titan Injection, to be honest. All right. Porco played 4 or 5 attacks technically last turn, dealt 1 damage. If we can repeat that process, don't count him out yet. We were talking about going to game 2. This could be a huge game 1 win. He does have to attack the Smiling Titan, though. Best Friends is a low block for teaming with the Attack Titan if the opponent ever remembers to do the Blitz. But most decks playing teaming with the Attack Titan don't ever care about playing the game at you. They just are playing such a volume they don't care. It's so frustrating when, like, they leave it mid because they just don't ever do that ability. and you actually have like the low block in hand, and they're like, "Oh, I forgot the blitz. Oh well, 5 mid for potato," and you're like, "No, no, no, do the blitz. It's cool. Do the blitz. It's fine. I don't want to be a dick. You know, you can change the zone. It's fine. I've never held a low block in my life." Yeah, ADDR for teaming. I don't know, bro. I mean, you know, he was pretty close. If like realistically, there was only Titan injection to save him last turn, right? From like the way last turn went. We do have a lot of DR this time too, but that besiege got big, man. That besiege got big enough. The real question is, can we pass these checks? Oh, snap. Loss of consciousness. Discarding loss of consciousness to pick up another attack. Sick, sick. Getting rid of that greater goal. It's a little bit of DR. I don't know what's better, loyalty or greater goal. Because he's not even really activating Hanj like that much. And loyalty of a friend represents -6 damage. Ooh, now a death rattle is built. Turn that clock up just a little bit sooner. We got the besiege on a 5. It starts out at 8 damage. It's coming down to 4. It's gonna be 0. Loyalty is not a +3, by the way. It's a +2 breaker. But this thing is gonna be down to 1. I have to assume we're gonna do Hanji for the rest. TC making sure he's not missing anything here. Now Porco does seal blocks, right? Oh, you have to sack a foundation. Yikes. Two foundations ready. Anji -3 damage. Loyalty of a friend -6. We got to pass 2 more attacks after this. We can play teaming on a 5 and then jaw on an 8. No, on an 8. Or we can play jaw on a 7 and teaming on a 5. I think 2 5 checks can win the game. Unless one of those is a face down military tactics, actually. I don't want to look at the face downs. I want to be surprised. I didn't look at what he was flipping with when he had greater goal. A 7 and then a 5. Theoretically represents lethal. Theoretically. It's very important here. So this comes in for 8 damage. It gets +2 from the other draw titans in the card pool. +2 from Porco. That's continuous. So when if he commits out to play teaming, that'll still be in effect. The +2/+2. So the teaming will be for 10 damage. Hanji and loyalty is -9. And it looks like we're having to use loyalty on this attack. Porco might be taking this game 1. That's why you never surrender. You never forfeit. You never give up in universes. There's always a window. There's always a door, no matter how small, no matter how tiny. You can jam a crowbar in and you can wedge that son of a bit. Wait, you might have something. Wait. You might have an outwit. Hold up. Hold on, we might have an outwit. TC also never giving up, not surrendering immediately. What could be? Okay, it looks like we're going to game 2. Porco taking it down in a game that chat believed he could never win. In a game that chat said he needed. I was there too, actually. I was there with chat. I didn't think he could do it. I didn't think he would do it. I always thought he could, I guess, but I didn't think that he would. It did not seem likely, but he pulled it off. Absolutely insane. Constant aggression over and over. You know, I've not been the biggest fan of Jaw Titan Bite, but that +1 damage over and over in the card pool, forcing him to use that loyalty of a friend early, giving him exact lethal. Even if he could block that one, right? Or like if he could, you know, still have the loyalty of a friend, it would have only been -9 damage, and that teaming was for 10. So very cool stuff. Very aggressive stuff. Very powerful stuff from Porco. This is a deck, if you are not prepared to slow it down for Louisville, you need to have it on your radar. That was insane. I did not think he could manage it. We were dooming in chat. But every turn, play 4 attacks. Every turn, play 4 attacks. Every turn, just keep playing 4 attacks. Having to transform, not win that turn. Come back, and with the transform stats, be enough to overcome the damage reduction. Absolutely incredible stuff. But TC has about 25 minutes to score a win here, even things up, and then we're going to have to go into a tiebreaker situation. Oh, that's the one thing I forgot in the players meeting. I knew I was forgetting something. We didn't go over the overtime procedures, which, because there has to be a winner, there has to be a single elimination. We do have to go into the overtime plus tiebreaker. Hopefully we just won't need it. Hopefully Porco just doesn't die. You know, it's funny enough. Once he gets death rattles in his stage, which he's got one now, it almost behooves you not to attack. Don't let him spend the stamina on his backups, right? I don't know if our Porco player, I think it's Matthew V. I don't know if he's clocked in on how not aggressive TC's deck is. He probably has, but like to what extreme, you know? And so it'll be interesting to see holding some interesting blocks. We got that +4 mid from Urameshi's Perseverance. Here comes Duplicitous. 5 low 6 Duplicitous Recollection. Stun 1, you get to choose a backup or shift attack in your discard pile with a printed difficulty of 7 or less, and then build it. We get the good old Titans Under Orders, -3 damage. So this is what I'm talking about. Like with Death Rattle out, if you just don't attack and he never spends the stamina on his own attacks, which, you know, if he does that, then you just don't have to block him, right? -3 damage for burn 1, not a great solution. So if Porco just never attacks and just blocks like the one big poke every turn, that might not be a recipe for success. Hanji can play a lot of 7 diffs. Hanji 4 Eyes can just like play 3 7 diffs in a turn. Oh, and the mill. We're milling ourselves. Gotta be just a little careful about the mill. We take 9 damage Duplicitous. So I don't know Teaming is a tough sell. Teaming is like our best attack, but I don't think we clocked exactly how this Anji deck is trying to draw things out, I guess. Because I think it's very much worth it to save the 9 life. And also we saw the Titan injection needed that momentum, right? So, but I am the type of person who I want to beat the player, not the game. You know, I want to beat the player across from me, not just their deck. And Matt probably just has a better game plan of, let me try to win the game normally. Let me just do my game plan. Let me, you know, play my deck the way it was designed to be played, which is just run people over. Yeah, 9 Titan double can definitely kill us. That's true. That's also true. You are going to be forced to respect that. If you commit out and he just plays he just plays like a 5-speed, 6-speed move and you're like, "All right, I can't block that." And double plus Hanji, that's it. Plus 6 damage, plus 3 from Hanji. That'll do it. Okay, we're going to discard the loss of consciousness here. What are we going to seal, though? No greater goal as a target. I think military tactics might be okay if we had a greater goal out, but since we don't, meeting Hanji makes sense. Brief respite would have been a good one, too, probably. Probably about equal EV on this turn. Just trying to guess that your rival might not have, you know, cards they want to discard. And they'd have to use their whole hand. Man, we have double teaming, double besiege. If we check good with the double capture the target, I think Porco can do it this turn. Or at the very least, right? Like we talked about, put Hanji in a place where they can't pass all those checks, right? Like eating 4 foundations, like we talked about in the first game. We use the 9 Titans defensively, so we can't double anything now. TC is committed to that 9 Titans being defensive, basically. It's only got 2 stamina left. So unless we build one like with Rock Barrage, we don't have access to the double. Or I guess you do it with Duplicitous too. Gross. Oh, Disaster Dan has completely changed his allegiance. He has flip-flopped. He went down and he got him some smothered grits at the Waffle House. Yeah, I don't know. I think he's got a real shot here, man. He's got like the hand, right? I just don't know where we sequence these besieges specifically. Like, I think I would have wanted to play like one besiege here. But I'm not exactly sure. Besiege might just come after you do attack Titan on a 5 on a 5. Besiege on a 7. Besiege on an 8. Like, if you just transform Porco and not do the loop. He does have a face down tactics? Okay. Oh, we airshipped. Okay. That kind of makes sense. Four. We got a 4 check. So now we can't do the long besiege trail. We can't do besiege on a 7 on an 8. The run lives on? Oh no. Nick Reagan broken confirmed. nerf this guy again. I wonder how Nick Reagan feels. He was like convinced his character is like dead now, right? He did not seem happy about the twice per turn. All right, here's teaming on a 5. Checks a 5. Tactics back to hand. That's okay. Teaming on a 5. Checks a 3. Not okay. So now we can't besiege. Oh no, we can ready a capture the target. Oh, we got some check hacks coming in. A little -1 to the check. Yeah, Hanji's still at 15 here. The question, I guess, is do you transform or do you try to play teaming on a 5 and then a 6? We didn't ready capture. Well, if we readied capture the target, we could have looped one more teaming. Maybe he did ready both, and that counter is for both, but I'm pretty sure he only readied the one. And I think he's counting the counter as both. And yeah, the Porco just needs to check better both times, right? Still, Hanji at 4, not like guaranteed to kill. And we thought he couldn't win last time, right? Yeah, Hanji's just going to build. So, hey, Cohen, how's it going, champ? This is game 2. Porco won game 1 after everyone said he should probably scoop for like 3 turns. And by everyone, I mean like me and Dan, but we were the only ones chatting. But it was tough, you know? I was like, you hate to do it. Like, Universes really is the game, man, where you should not scoop. Like, people will tell you all the time, there's no way you're winning. There's no way you're winning. And yet, I see it. I see it all the time. I see it so often. You know, it has gotten less and less as the years go on. As the years go on, I have seen less and less comebacks, I guess, you know, or at least like I've seen more times where it like seems obvious that the person who's gonna win wins. But oh man, another 3 check. This Porco's gotta figure it out with the checks. What event is this? This is Ace Arena 4. This is a semi-regular TTS tournament that I run for the community, usually sponsored by Undefeated at Locals. This time, TC is also throwing in a cool trophy prize card. All the info is on my YouTube. I've been posting videos and updates in all the regular channels. But this is a community event run online. It's a single elimination, and we had 8 players signed up today. And the winner is going to get 4 Street Fighter 6 Challenger decks. So pretty good deal for $10 and probably like 3 hours of your time. 4 with overtime and everything. Coming up on 10 minutes left in the round here pretty soon. So this could just be like a case where Porco takes like too much time attacking and TC never actually gets a turn. Cohen, I am gonna be in Louisville. That is the plan. I'm gonna be working the event though. I'm gonna be commentating. So I'll be on the broadcast team. You won a game today because I didn't scoop. I was going to cycle and could not nick enhance the second time as I had 9 cards in deck, so I used Dark Interruption to check and be able to use the enhance without decking out. That's so sick, dude. Dude, I was trying to find a deck for Dark Interruption. I was like, what if I ignore the 5 hand size part and I just do like the check from hand part? Is that enough? Like am I crazy? But like Nick, obviously you get the draw card too, so it's like not a miss. And it's so important, right, that you get early aggression. That's so funny. Oh, you built a custom deck? That's pretty sick. So you're like making your own custom cards? Nick Reagan, funny enough, we're talking about Nick Reagan, the champ card. Nick Reagan, the person, the human being, is hosting a custom card contest. So if you don't know about that, the submissions are for the end of July. What was I gonna say? The submission deadline is the end of July, I believe, but he's doing a custom card contest. You might want to submit those. Yeah, like so the check from hand has to be like an insane has to be like an insanely aggressive deck that pumps stats, like Bionic Menace, right? Hey Malcolm, thanks for coming out, dude. It was cool seeing your deck in round 1. It was great seeing you pull out the win after Beauregard put up a amazing game 1. So thanks for playing. Oh, back to our game over here. TC is doing a great job defensively, but Porco is living the life really quick here. You've got Porco playing 4 attacks every turn forever. We've got a Besiege coming down, but there's an Invincible body. The real question is the sequencing. Porco can transform to give +2/+2 with the static. This is 11 damage currently. Oh my goodness. We are going to Invincible body this down to 0. So you can Porco, add a Titan armbar. Oh, we get -1 to the check too. Porco, add a Titan armbar for +2 damage. It gets +1 from Porco. Transform Porco, give it +2/+2. We might not transform Porco. I kind of think you should. Oh, there it goes. Gonna -3 damage. The death rattle trigger happens. Oh, you were 1 lethal short? That sucks. That's rough, man. It's one thing when you're like 1 attack short, but when you're 1 damage short and you know he's got the true 100. Speaking of 1 short, we've got Besiege coming in. We're going to best buddies. We're going to gain a health on play. We're going to respond. It's not recuperation time. Which one? Oh, it is. Okay, yeah. Recuperation time for -1 damage. This is a certified TC special. So, little 2-point damage swing. We still have brief respite. We can gain another health and -1 damage again. But this Besiege is starting at 12. We can Hanji to look for a block. We got a big old stage. And I say Hanji, I mean meeting Hanji, I guess. Another -1 to the check. So it's -2 to this check. Oh, we're going to get another +1 damage as the Jaw Titan's Bite comes down. -3 here. We still have to draw a +3 mid block. Unless, wait, did he just put a Titan injection or am I tripping? He did not, right? Yeah. Discard a card, draw 2. Neither of them block Besiege. It's looking like Porco's got this. Brief respite. Go up to 5, bring it down to 10 damage. We can destroy with Hanj. Okay, -3 from loyalty. Ready Hanj, but there's no greater goal. There's no responses. There's nothing that blocks Besiege. I think Porco's going to win this one 2-0. Wait, didn't we already Hanji? Or am I tripping? Oh, maybe that was loyalty for a friend? Am I tripping or did he... Oh, see, this sucks because I am the judge. Are you 100%? Are you 100% sure he Hanji'd twice there? Well, let's see if he can just win here and it doesn't have to even be. He did so much. Yeah, I don't have the VOD up yet. All right, are you 100% sure, George? Because you're my backup judge. Because they're still playing this through. Because I hate to interfere because I might have missed something. Because it went from 12 to 10 to 7 from loyalty. Yeah, I don't know if he did. I don't know if he did Hanji twice on that same attack. I thought he did, but he started committed. So I don't know. We'll check the VOD. It might not matter because I forgot to do the time left in the round. Let me do players. 5 minutes left till overtime. It's so easy, dude. It's so you can be sitting here watching the game, talking about it, and it's so easy when they're like powering through enhances. And I don't think like going through the mental math of where the attack started and ended. I don't think he Hanji'd. Because it was at 10, and I think it went to 12, and then he brought it back down to 10 with recoups, right? And then it went down by 3 with loyalty. I do not have plans for the next Ace Arena yet. I usually announce them about a month in advance. I announced this one I think the first week of June, so I should probably do a little more time. But I try to do them about once every other month. So the next one will probably be like early September, sometime around the Toronto regional is the best guess. Uh-oh. This is what we were worried about. Oh, Rock Barrage is going to get doubled to 6 speed, and this is going to be it. No, it doesn't get doubled. No, it didn't get doubled. Is Rock Barrage not a Titan? Oh, it only has 2 stamina left. He's counting down. I always count up. He's counting down. Oh, Cohen, you're traveling from the UK? That's pretty sick. Toronto represent. Nice, nice. TC, so it only had the 2 stamina. But I assume he didn't have a 9 Titans in discard? No, he has game anyways. He has Death Rattle. Porco can't play an attack. Porco has to somehow not play an attack and not give TC another turn. That's game. He's just gonna death rattle him. Oh no, we're gonna have to go to overtime. Oh, this is tough. Oh, this is tough. All right, I'm gonna pop in and give him the overtime rules really quick because we need a winner because it's single limb. So we're gonna play 10 minutes of overtime. After 10 minutes, we're gonna do turn 0, 1, 2, 3, so that everyone has the same number of turns. And then it's gonna have to go to highest percentage health total. That's right, George, right? Yeah, they're gonna call for a judge really quick here. Yeah. Hey, fellas.
Who
Yeah,
just joined? Hey,
Yeah,
okay,
hey.
so we're just gonna roll the dice and because we're gambling, man. Okay.
You know, it's not an official UVS tournament. If that's what you guys want to do, I was just about to pop in here and let you know what the overtime rules are.
What is overtime rules, just so we know? Because I
So,
want to know.
because it's single limit, we need a winner. We're basically doing a top cut overtime. So, it would be you guys would play a normal 10-minute game through the overtime. And then at 10 minutes, if there's no winner, we would do turns 0, 1, 2, 3. And then after turn 3, so that everyone has the same number of turns, it would be whoever has the highest health percentage. If that's tied, then it goes to the first person to deal damage, or the first life loss, basically, would lose the game.
Okay. And that's like hilarious how that works. Yeah, but if you're cool, my brain's cooked. I just want to roll
Yeah,
dice.
I'm fine just rolling dice.
Yeah. All right, let's roll. How many dice do you want to roll?
If both players agree to it, I'm okay with it. We're trying to have fun on a Saturday.
Here, you just tell me.
This is not an official tournament. I'll let them do whatever they're gonna do, as long as both players agree. I agree. Porco is way favored in this overtime. If this was an official tournament, I think they would both just be DQ'd immediately, and George would be the winner. So, my brain is cooked is definitely a, let's play it out. My brain is cooked is for sure a, you know what, partner? We're not allowed to roll dice. You have 2 challenger decks guaranteed. You got one of each. Yeah, I'm with you, Jace. That is a hard we're playing. That is for sure a we are playing this moment. I'm with you on that one, but I guess we should do some reveals while we're waiting. While we're in the pipeline here. Let's sure I'm not showing on screen. Okay. So, where is no? Okay. Oh, it's this guy has to go away. No? Okay, there we go. Yeah, there we go. They're deciding the winner in overtime. But I have two more previews for you guys. Nope. Let me make sure I'm doing the right previews. We wanna save the best for last. Yeah, so this one's gonna be a little weirder. So first up, we've got Swooping In. This is a 1/5 uncommon +3 high block. Enhance Sacrifice. This attack cannot be blocked by cards with a block modifier of +3 or greater. So we just watched a lot of Besiege get played, and this is air attuned, and Besiege is fire attuned. So you can now make your own unblockable Besieges if your character has the air and fire symbol, and that is honestly terrifying. This is a card that says you can't block me with Showdown. You can't block me with any of the Breaker 3s. There's probably at least one other like unblockable combo, right? Like this is you can combine it with teaming with the attack time to make it really weird to block, but usually higher difficulty cards have better block mods. So in sealed and limited, where you're playing a lot of common uncommons with +3 block mods, this is probably insane, but unblockable Besiege is exactly where my brain went with this card, and so that's pretty cool. I'm really curious if we'll see any cards that increase block modifiers, because it doesn't say printed. I believe Besiege says printed, but Swooping In does not. So you can potentially play something like Double Spirit Blast, I think it's called, the Echo attack from Yusuke Urameshi. And if you echo it and you give +2 to all your rivals' block modifiers, this can make any attack unblockable. This is a really, really unassuming one diff that I think has a lot of brewing potential, and I think people who love building unique decks are really going to enjoy this one. Unblockable Besiege Byakko is truly terrifying. Truly, truly terrifying. Next up, we have Catching Air. This is a +2 high block. It's a 1/5 common, and it has Enhance Flip, change this attack zone to high. If you guys have noticed, high attacks have been kind of illegal recently. They've printed a lot of really good ways to punish high attacks for like the last 2 years, pretty much. Starting all the way back with the Showdown reprint. I think that was what, Girl Power or Jetburn, right? Showdown reprint came out. We've had the Rising Uppercut recently in the Street Fighter 6 Challenger decks, which our Ace Arena players are playing for today. And this is now a way to force your rival to be playing high attacks, but it also works on your attack. So there can be some really, really interesting stuff happening with this one too. And you've got Wingnut in the art taking flight, knocking over what looks to be Bebop and Rocksteady. And so there's a lot of action in these cards too, which I think is really nice. Anyone who's a fan of the movie will almost certainly be a fan of these cards because it captures so many of the big action scenes so well. But for the most part, I love the idea that I can now force my opponent into a Rising Uppercut block whenever I want. Oh, that's true, Guillemon. Toru 2 increases block modifiers, right? She adds with her enhance the block modifier. I don't know how much longer you can play her, but that is actually sick as well. So what do you guys think? These commons and uncommons from the air symbol seem pretty good. You know, we had Infinite Potential, which is theoretically a better version of this card, but Enhance versus Response does have its own, you know, differences to take in. So I think these are pretty cool. Again, thank you to Universes Games for allowing me to preview these really cool cards. She survives rotation. Girl Power survives rotation. I thought all the MHA stuff was rotating next year. I could be tripping. I don't keep up with that stuff super well. Are we looking for game capture? All right, I've got 2 more previews for the end of the stream. We should have our finals just about ready to go. Looks like we've got a report in. We're gonna go to our round 3. And your finals are gonna be Haunchy Four Eyes versus Nick Reagan. Oh, I gotta approve and submit. Ha ha ha. Approve and publish. I'm gonna give the players a few minutes to use the restroom, grab a snack. I know George has been waiting for a while, but I'm gonna give TC a couple minutes here. I'm gonna have the timer start at 12:20. That's gonna give you you guys at home a chance to grab a snack as well as we get settled in for our third and final round to find out who wins 4 Street Fighter 6 Challenger decks. I myself am going to take this opportunity to grab a quick old snacker roll. And I hope you guys do too. All right, I'm back just in time. All right, chat, who you got? You think Nick Reagan can take it? I think Nick Reagan's got a good matchup into this. I think if TC hits the attack negates, you know, like the invincible bodies, that's going to be a big deal. But we've seen him build a big stage, and we know George's deck is all about hitting true 100% as many times as possible. If you guys didn't know, by the way, BTW, later today, I believe at 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 o'clock Eastern time, the JRB podcast, I believe at I got a little bit of feedback there. The JRB podcast is going to be having some reveals, so go check them out. Go subscribe so you know when they're going to have some reveals. And they got, I believe, a Yu-Gi-Oh podcast, if I'm not completely off my rocker. They've done some reveals in the past. You guys might know some of those players from Werewub, a new podcast under essentially the same format. So go check them out. They are going to have a reveal as well. Didn't TC check a 3 on the first one? I was looking at my other screen. Admittedly, I'm not a great stream judge. The Beast Titans Rock Barrage? Was the first one a 4 diff? Or did he only play 3 diffs? Well, it looks like George passed back to him, so unless the one foundation mattered. Oh, it was a 9 Titans, I see. Yeah, luckily, we've been lucky so far. It doesn't seem like it's mattered which one came up. And we've had... I'll have to double check the VOD. Running the stream and judging, definitely not ideal, but I'm doing what I can for the community. So we got a Science Bros for a half block. Makes sense. We already got Science Bros in our stage. And we don't assume that there's too many attacks coming from TC's deck, but he does play another Rock Barrage. We got triple 9 Titans out. This could actually be really tough. Even with hitting true 100%, we now are going to have to hit like true 100% off of a true 100% if we want to get through minus 12 damage. Not to mention, even if we do hit that, you know, our rival has invincible bodies, so they don't even necessarily have to respond first. They can be patient. I still have yet to take the judge questionnaire. I should do that before Louisville. I'll probably do that like this weekend. There's a little 3 mid for 10, gonna get easily blocked by a +1 mid block. Probably not what TC was expecting, but not a big deal either way. Yeah, I imagine the level 1 is just like, we need to get people with a basic understanding so they can run locals, you know? And if something bad happens at your locals, it's not the end of the world. Yeah. Yeah, I imagine level 1 is just there to be like, okay, somebody can be trusted at your local. All right, here's Dark Interruption. This is a card we've pretty much only seen from Nick Reagan. Lets you check from your hand. It has an enhance, let you discard a card to check from your hand. And because you're a 5-hander, you also get to draw a card. So this has been very integral for like these 1-2 punch kind of decks where, you know, if we notice, George's stage is something where he's going to be destroying everything, right? And it looks like we hit a Spirit Gun final. So we have the opportunity to give this either 5 damage or 5 speed. Unfortunately, we can't do both. We can only play 1 enhance as our next enhance, but that's still pretty good because it's going to fight over the damage reduction of everything in Hanji's stage except Invincible Body. Oh, it looks like instead we decided to go for the Death from Above to just add 6 damage. That makes sense. If we were going to choose to add damage to overcome DR, you might as well go for the higher damage number that doesn't cost health. We also got 1/1 from Science Bros, which is cool. Now, the real thing is we have +6, +6, +4, +6, so +10, +12, potentially in stage still from destroying half of our stage, which it looks like we're going for it here. We are trying to force out this invincible body. Unless, oh wait, no, we already did an enhance on TC side. So he can't invincible body this. So this is smart by George to recognize, okay, he's done damage reducing enhances. He's done something else. So he can't do the 0 out. We're going to get -3 from Hanj. Cutting it really close. And we have a 6 check in hand. That's so sick. Now we would still have to fight over -8 damage to start with, and then invincible body as the only enhance. Multiple bites, okay. I pogged for seeing the supersonic fly on top of the discard pile, but this isn't a Rodan deck. But I was about to pop off for that. Foresight can also remove for +1/+1. I think Ignite is just destroy, it's not remove. Looks like we're trying to just bait some stuff out here. We didn't do the check from hand either. It's kind of, oh, there's a true 100. So we get 2/2 from Nick Reagan, 1/1 from Science Bros, and we have the option to give this like 4 speed and 8 damage. Okay, there's the invincible body. But now we have Foresight. Wait, what did he draw off of? Oh, itself. It's multiple bites. Doi. The actual attack we're playing. So we can Foresight twice. But that doesn't get this to lethal. Or we can just play this guy on a 7. It's gonna get put to -3. We can pump it back to 2 and then Foresight, make it a 7 for 4. But Hanji can 0 it or can reduce it again. Oh my goodness. +1 to our next check. Are we gonna go for it? Are we gonna go for the true 100 on a 9? And we're just gonna say you're at 1? Oh my goodness. On a 9, checks a 4. What a line. What a line to try and go for it, though. Oh my goodness. So we didn't do double Foresight. We could have done double Foresight, but then Hanji Enhance would just bring it back down to 1 damage. And we wouldn't have a stage at all. Tough. Tough stuff. Man, that is a turn where you could dissect a lot of decision points. For sure. I wonder if there's a world where we never did the spliced Nick Reagan enhance, and we just sent an attack at the invincible body that was fast enough and enough damage that you'd have to block, and then commit the invincible body to pass the check, and then have no cards in hand, and we could win with the Spirit Gun final. I don't know. There's too much to think about here. But Nick Reagan's got 27 health left. 27 health left. That's hard to say. Speaking of left, we have 2 reveals left. I got 2 more attacks to show off after this match, after the winner's interview. So don't go anywhere after this game concludes. We're going to find out from the winner which card they want to immortalize into a trophy. And find out which attacks are coming in TMNT for the air symbol. Look at all those backups. Where's the card that just says everyone sacrifices all backups? Where's my unyielding backup destruction? Oh my goodness. What if we printed your rival loses 1 health for each backup that they have more than 1 copy of in their stage, huh? Play the unique ones, jerks. Like, I don't even think Violent Animus is enough for this. Looks like George is going to go ahead and cycle through here. 60 card Nick Reagan. You only get so many activations. Got to make him a good one. We draw a second attack off the first one with our supersonic flight. That feels pretty good. That feels pretty good. It's also we have a lot of 6 checks to discard from our hand to make our next check, which is probably going to be pretty relevant. It does mean that for Death from Above, we probably won't have an attack in our discard pile to pump its damage though. And that's a 6 difficulty 3 damage move. Definitely not what you're intending to throw at your opponent. Especially when their entire game plan is just reduce every piece of damage ever. Can we even Nick Reagan again? We can Nick Reagan one more time. Come in with a Death Rattle block. The +2 high on a 6. Gonna block and bring the Death Rattle in now. Nick Reagan's at 5 health. These Death Rattles are gonna start bringing things down. Oh, this is during the combat phase? That's disgusting. This doesn't have to be during the attack? What? I don't know if this works with... Oh man, this is definitely not a level 1 judge question. I don't think he applied it either. I think he just did the... Well, no, because he removed it. George is a higher level judge than me, but I'd have to... Because they changed how floating bonuses apply. And it says during the combat phase, not during this attack. That's crazy. All right, well, we're back to -1. There goes another Death Rattle trigger. This is so close, guys. This is actually crazy close. If the Jaeger's followers could unalive themselves. If the Jaeger's followers could drain their own stamina. Oh, did we hit a true 100? We did. We got the true 100. It looks like George is going to take this one. 9 high for 4. Wait a minute. Are we playing around or... Okay. 9 high for 4 with the last attack, with the last Nick Reagan activation. Had to hit true 100% or it wouldn't have been fast enough and enough damage. And you can see now why. The twice per turn handicap on Nick Reagan doesn't kill the character. It just means you got to play him a little more spicy. And by spicy, I mean completely bonkers, man. That was insane. I mean, I've always thought that like the big Nick Reagan list was like kind of a mistake because they, you know, are just giving themselves the chance to whiff when you could easily make a Nick Reagan deck that like statistically really can't, you know, like really, really tough to. But passing the checks is hard, right? Luckily, Dark Interruption solves that problem for us. Oh, we got our table reset here. Oh. Zoom back in. Uh-oh.
A judge call happened because I accidentally hit 7. So I drew 7 instead of 5.
Uh-oh. Well,
You drew an
That's all.
extra.
That's
You
all.
drew an extra.
So now the judge is giving me a judge call. The judge I'm playing against is judge calling me. What happens?
so the normal procedure is to reveal your hand, and the rival will remove cards from your hand until you are down to the correct hand size.
Dang it. All right, judge. What do you want, sir?
You have 9 cards in hand?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
drew
you get to-
accidentally I hit 7 out of habit. yeah. What do you want?
And so
I remember
I
this.
hate you.
these cards are not able to be
Removed or
referenced.
discarded?
They're removed from the
Oh
game,
my
They're
god.
super removed.
They're
but they
mega
are
removed.
really quick, guys. They are not able to be referenced by other cards. You cannot target them with other cards. They are not a part of the game. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't think you have
Game
anything
3,
that
if they're in
retrieves
game 3?
from removed from game, but just to make that clear, these are not counted as cards removed for things that might matter for Nick Reagan. And I do have to formally give you a warning in case it happens again. It will be a game loss.
Okay.
So just
a way out.
Again, please.
Okay. I see. I have a way out of this game now.
yeah, so just be very careful when pressing the button, because it's very
Yeah,
easy to just fumble. So next one will be a game
got
Yeah,
loss.
it's happened to me before.
So
That's tough. And 2-card sniped is tough. It's not super uncommon to draw 1 extra card in person, but when it comes to TTS, you can draw like 5 extra cards. So that is a little more painful. But hey, DC's got he's got an excuse now, right? He got one of his 9 Titans sniped. Where do you get 2 of them? Oh no, it was that in military tactics? Okay. All right, so we got Duplicitous on a 7. This is a blitz that's just going to build us a backup for free. Just get to add a 3 difficulty backup to our stage. We're, of course, going to get a damage reduction backup. All right, DC is at 21. Here comes a true 100%. Checks a 3 on it, though. So this might be blockable. Do we have a mid block in our hand? We have a +1 mid block in hand, so that's pretty good. It's only going to get +2 speed, theoretically, from its own enhance. But it's going to get +2/+2 from Nick, +1/+1 from Science Bros. And whatever we hit off Nick Reagan might give it more speed as well. So this could be like... Okay, he's got Moment of Normalcy. We're going to bring this down to 3 damage. Now we're going to Nick Reagan. Oh no, we might have Moment of Normalcy a little too soon. We might have Moment of Normalcy too soon. Rules should be reset, time back, and shuffled in warning. So I think that's what they were trying to do. If you notice, they like rewound it a bunch of times to try to get back to that. So I don't know if that was them trying to see if they could rewind to before that and it wasn't working. I get what you're saying now. I guess I didn't think about it in the moment. You could rewind to before he drew, draw the correct, and then shuffle, and then the deck is random. But I was going based off of what our typical canonical rules are. I guess for TTS that is a consideration to make in the future. But since we don't have formalized TTS rules, I decided to just go with what the normal procedure is for drawing too many cards, if that makes sense. But that is a good point. That is something I guess TTS can account for in a way that in person cannot. But see, then I guess you could make the case that if the players, can guarantee that this is the extra card they drew because it's on the table, but they looked at it, you could put that back and shuffle it too. So I don't know. I don't like changing stuff too much, but I get what you're saying. That would be something where if we had like more like the way that David had the webcam circuit and we kind of like already had formalized webcam rules. Because that's how when we did events over the pandemic, we just, did it. Well, you accidentally drew 11, rip them out. We do have a Spirit Gun final coming in here for way too fast for lethal. And I think this might be over. We might have just missed. Oh, we're going to destroy 2 ready Hanj. You got to respond greater goal. Or no, we're just going to block on a 9. Check a 4. And that's going to do it. Well, that was pretty quick either way. I don't know if a 9 Titans probably would have made a difference just a little bit because he was only 2 over. 9 Titans would have saved him 4 health. Tough stuff, but George is going to take it down. That's going to be Nick Reagan on the all symbol. I'll have those deck lists for you guys real soon, but we're going to talk to our winner real quick, and we're going to find out which card from the deck he wants to have immortalized as a trophy card. Hello, hello.
I died. I was so close. I had to check a 5. I checked a 4 to live. So
You
sad.
have to check a 6 because it was on a 9. 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh no, you already
9. Yeah, I ranked my character for a reason. That was intentional. Okay.
Straight cooked.
Really quick, guys.
On purpose.
Congratulations to both of you for being finalists. TC, you are going to win one of each Street Fighter 6 Challenger deck, courtesy of Undefeated at Locals. But,
Awesome.
George, you're going to win 2 of each. And on top of that, it's kind of poignant that TC's here. We got to find out which card from your Nick Reagan deck do you want immortalized as a trophy card?
Yeah, which card do you want to play at our locals to kill me with?
As funny as it is, I don't want to do Nick Reagan because I want him to have himself.
It would be a proper trophy. It would be a proper trophy.
But 200 would be really cool though.
It would. That card art would look really good actually with the way that I do prints.
I think you should do a non-character, if only because the character cards are already like a prestigious thing, you know? Like that's already. Also, Nick Reagan has already given people like holographic and like foil copies. Like I have a foil Nick Reagan.
Yeah,
So, but it's up to you. It's up to you. Whatever card you want. I'm gonna have TC turn it into a trophy for you.
Yeah, I know what you want. You want the 1 check into a trophy card.
It's not in the deck. It's
not in the deck.
Not in the deck. All right.
Yeah, it's gotta be in the deck.
It's probably gonna be that attack. It's probably gonna be the SR. It's gotta be, right? There's no way. It's gotta be true.
Yeah, it's free.
It's the proper SR. It just is. I mean, Spirit Gun's also pretty good, but it's just not patchwork. Maybe. It's gotta be 200. It's gotta be 200. Oh wait, I know. You should, wait. You should troll for David if he's watching stream and be like, "I want World's Weakest Hunter."
Going by what we saw on stream, True 100 Spirit Gun Final would be the call, and I think Spirit Gun Final might actually look the best. But you know which card's most important.
Yeah, they would both look really good.
Yeah, they would look nice.
Cards that have a lot of white or white-ish color would look the best in the way that I print. So those would look the best naturally. They both would look good because there's a lot of white there.
If you need more time, you can have it. You don't have to decide right now, but I thought it would be kind of a hype little
No,
thing
I
for the
think
end of the
I'm-
stream.
I just want True 100. I think for sure, yeah.
Yeah. So
True
bro, okay, pull
100.
it out and make it massive. And let it just absorb my whole deck and everything. Like if you left click and then right click all over on top of all my cards, and then it'll just suck it up, absorb it.
This card is so sick. I'm glad it's seeing play, even if it
Yeah.
is like in like a crazy fever dream combo attack.
It's your hand. Just
Oh,
So,
uh,
George,
oh.
you have now pioneered 2 different Nick Reagan lists. Are you playing in Louisville? Is this something you're going to play, or are you judging Louisville?
I'm judging Louisville,
You're
yeah.
judging? Oh, you're going to have someone play this deck in your stead.
I
You're not-
might play in Canada though.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Nick Reagan will probably be banned by then with the way you're playing him. So you got him hit the
pretty
first time, and now you're going to get him hit a second time.
I did it twice, yeah. I'm sorry. He's a cool dude, but character's
I'm trying to
broken.
make
I'm
it
sorry.
small. I'm trying to make it small enough so it'll sit on the board.
All right. Well, congratulations once again to you, both of you finalists, and to you, George, for winning the Ace Arena 4. I am now going to jump out of the call because I have 2 more reveals from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles I need to do. But thank you both for playing.
Heck yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
This was fun.
All right, y'all. So we got 2 more reveals to do here. Let me get this out of here. And let's get our card preview back up here. So once again, guys, pre-orders for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are already out. You can pre-order both the booster set and the 80s cartoon starter deck. So if you want the group, you know, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 80s style starter decks, you can get those too. If you're going to Gen Con, there's an early pre-release. You can be the absolute first to pre-release at Gen Con July 31st through August 3rd, but tickets are limited, and Gen Con is very popular. So you're going to want to go to gencon.com/events, use keyword universes to find the events that you want to sign up for, because everything's going to be blocked out. Pre-releases begin at local game stores on August 8th. You can sign up for a promo copy of Leo's Katana, which is only available in the pre-release kits. And if you register before August 8th for your local game store's pre-release, you earn an additional 60 bonus loyalty points, which you can use at the UGN reward store. They have rotating rewards every week, and you can use them for promos you might have missed out on, retro cards that might or might not begin reprints. Who knows? You know, they got some retro stock, so those might be one of the only ways to get them. But the full release for TMNT is going to be on August 15th. But I've got 2 more attacks to show you guys. And first one is Dive Bomb Tackle. This is a +1 high block, 5 high for 5/5 diff. It's got Blitz. This attack gets +1 speed for each card committed to pass the check to play it, which is pretty nasty because it's a 5 diff. So if you play it late in a string, it can get pretty fast. But notice it says for each card committed. There's been some cards in this set that allow you to commit assets to pass checks. There's characters that commit backups to pass checks. So this includes every card, including your character card, committed to pass the check to play it. So I think that's pretty cool. So far, the air symbol has been full of tons of great speed pump, and you're just trying to find yourself, you know, damage to back it up. Maybe your character has a tenacious damage pumping ability. Maybe they have something that they, you know, can play while committed, so you can commit it to pass the check and play this as an absolute last Hail Mary card. So that's pretty cool. Maybe your opponent just breakers you, and you get to punish them by committing out for a really big speed pump. Air symbol, really good at readying foundations too. So it makes sense that it would be kind of a push and pull with the air symbol. You're okay with committing these cards for the speed pump because you can ready them, get them back. I don't know. For the most part, this definitely seems like a card you're going to want to pick up in limited, just because it's going to be a pretty fast 5 difficulty attack that you can play on a 6 or a 7 and probably get some reliable damage in. The next up we have Catching Air, which we've already seen. And then the last reveal I have for you guys today is Flying Heel Kick. This is a 4-diff 5 mid for 3 +1 mid block. And it has the kick keyword, of course, and response card pool once per turn. After your attack is not blocked, your next attack gains flash, which is kind of crazy because you can now do this on your rival's turn. And the reversal attacks, the fake reversals, you know, aerial kikosho and rising uppercut, those both are attacks that don't really do anything during their own enhanced step. And so flashing them can be pretty powerful. You can block with this card, play multiple aerial kikoshos, and if the first one doesn't get blocked, then the next one could be a flash attack. I think this card's really cool. I talked earlier about how flash attacks are really great for new players. Giving them like a flash-based deck is really, really nice. This one, I don't know if it makes into the constructed version, but having the option to turn things into flash is pretty cool. It's another kick that doesn't necessarily mind being added to the card pool, so that's pretty cool. I do wish that this made the next attack for either player flash, but it's just a common. But I think this is one of those gnarly attacks where if your character pumps damage, this is a big theme for a lot of these air cards. And luckily these are all attuned, right? So these can go into any air character deck. But if you're finding the damage pump to back up these naturally fast attacks, we've seen a lot of printed 5-speed, air attacks. If you have like continuous floating bonuses, putting them on these fast flash attacks is a recipe for success. So thank you again to UVS Games for letting me preview these. I love the air symbol. I think flash is a cool keyword, and it's really interesting to see what they're doing with these card pool effects on the air symbol. Typically, the air symbol is all about discarding cards from the card pool, so maybe you're going to be waiting until you proc this once per turn from the card pool and then discarding it. But we're also seeing a lot of air cards that care about clogging up your own card pool and adding stuff to the card pool for beneficial effects. So that could just be a new direction that the symbol is going in. But this has been an awesome event. I had a ton of fun. Thank you for everyone watching, for everyone who followed, everyone who subscribed to the stream, everyone who subscribed on YouTube and now TikTok. I've got shorts going out every day. I think we've hit 8 days in a row. So this has just been like a pretty big week for me as far as being consistent with content, getting to do these reveals, getting to run this event. Thank you guys, everyone who played, everyone who watched, everyone who was just here for the reveals. You know, thank you for talking about universes. And we've got the Joust coming up soon. I haven't done a good job promoting the Joust, but Louisville's next. I'll see you guys in Louisville. It should be a good one. But this is Ace Maneuvers signing off for this one. The VOD will be up and the deck list will be out probably before the end of today. This one was a quick little tournament, so I'm going to start working on deck lists, and I'm going to have the VOD published on Twitch so you can go back and watch any reveals you might have missed. I guess I can cycle through them. I talked about that. We should cycle through them. So you guys already saw Catching Air, right? I don't know if you were here for Catching Air. This one's cool. It changes the zone to a high. We've also got Dive Bomb Tackle, which we just saw. They're swooping in, making Besiege unblockable. Toru 2 also makes things unblockable, which is pretty scary. This is the Toru 2 card for sure. Spinning Crescent Kick, an EX move that's already 5 speed and punishes your rival for not blocking, giving you that damage that we talked about throughout this stream for these air attacks that are already so fast. Too slow, speaking of fast attacks and the air being the fast symbol, here's a very high damage move that wants you to pump the speed on it and once again punishes the rival for not blocking. Above the City, after you play this card, you get to look at the top card of your deck. So all these air decks that are trying to play Sniping Spy, trying to play some bad checks, maybe you get a little precognition. It also works when you block, right? It works when you play this card. And then when it's in your stage, it's plus or minus 2 speed. We got Daredevil. This was the first card we showed off. You can discard a card, add it to your hand, so you always have a mid block to switch out for a card in your hand. And when it's added to your hand, your attack is +2 or -2 speed. So, or this attack. So those are all the previews I had today. I had a bunch of fun. I hope you guys had fun. I hope you check out the VOD for anything you might have missed. The re-upload will be up on YouTube whenever it's finished uploading, but you should be able to watch the VOD immediately after this stream. So, yeah, I love you guys. I'll see you all in the next one.